Right, good. That's good. I should be live. Hopefully. Just waiting for the player to get the message. Oh, it is. Right. Good. Hello. Greetings, everyone. DJ B2, how are you? Just DJ so far. Got 3 people watching. That's two more than the worst case scenario. Hope you guys are all right. Oh, Guy, it's just DJ B2 so far. Now we've got 2 people watching. All right. DJ, hello, DJ. How do you do? I've watched 28 Years Later recently. Not bad. Slight pacing issues, Acts 1 and 2. Well, I watched half of 28 Days Later, and I thought it was a load of rubbish, as zombie films do. As zombie films go, it's pretty bad. I've done an entire presentation on that, as you know. Ralph Fiennes is good in it. He actually comes across in parts as a caring GP, like the ones you get in the era pre-Liverpool care pathway. That's ironic, considering there's dead people walking around everywhere. Not the drug database robots they're churning out now. Yeah, definitely. Anyway, this might end up being a rather short live stream. We've got 6 people watching and only 1 person commenting. Not to worry, if that's the way it's going to be, so be it. You know, I I can't force people to watch me. I can't put pressure on them. You know, if I don't have enough viewers, well, there's 2 reasons for that. I'm shadow banned, which is not my fault, or I just got to produce better videos so people will want to watch them. That's the key thing, isn't it? That's the key thing. Yeah. So, DJ, I've got to ask you the big question. Have you read it? Have you read Anthony's book? I need to know, my friend. I need to know. I'm not. But anyway, what I'll do, I can't play video because I don't know, for some reason my channel is getting watched more closely than others. Maybe it's part of the shadow banning. But like when Neil Peel uploaded his version of my talk, it's Dorset a couple of years ago, where I did the Skeptic and Helen Duncan thing. We played a brief clip from the film The Discovery, and guess what? He didn't get a copyright strike, but I did get a copyright strike for playing the same thing. I played the very, very same clip in my version of that talk, and I ended up getting a copyright strike. And you know what? If you go to the well, you can't see it, but if on the review of this, that's the video I did last. Guess what? I get a copyright strike for it. I get a bloody copyright strike for playing a little bit of that God on the Brain from BBC Horizon. I mean, WTF? I mean, it's so obvious fair use. I just play a few clips of Richard Dawkins walking along a cold, snowy street in Canada and having the God helmet strapped to his head. Hello, Nihilist Life Matter. Welcome. How are you? Hello, how are you? Right, yeah. Right. I played one little clip of that, and I got a bloody third-party copyright strike. And it's not affecting my channel or anything like that, but it means that my channel's not monetized anyway. But it said I would not be able to monetize it if I tried, and things like that. And it's got this third-party strike on it. Now, it's the most obvious case of fair use imaginable. Good evening, body technician. How are you? DJ, is Keir Starmer, does he want you to reveal that he is the shaved British Bigfoot? I think the British Bigfoot's has a little bit more intelligence than him. He shaved Angela Rayner. Maybe it's her. Yes. Now we know what colour they are. See, they have ginger hair, right? But they left a bit on top of her head. Hello, Hugo Rune. Spliffs in the tin. How are you? See, I got a copyright strike on it's the most obvious case of fair use you can possibly imagine. I got a bloody copyright strike on it. Bastards! Silicon Valley scum. And they see they're singling my channel out for special treatment. This is where the shadow banning comes in, and also I reckon my viewing figures are higher, right? I reckon my viewing figures are higher than they're saying. You know why? I had a blog article a couple of months ago, right? It had more comments than unique views. How is that possible? Hello, Hatchy Hatchy. I've just walked me Budsville. Remember KBS and where we are today. Love and respect down with the new world order. Oh, I sometimes wonder what Kev would say about the world today, I'll tell you. Hello, Johnny Fettler. Yes, you caught a live stream. Good evening. Good evening. Hello, how are you? Welcome, all of you. We've got 10 people watching now. So that urinated me off quite considerably. It really, really did. But I reckon, like I said, they're fiddling with my channel. They're fiddling with my channel, definitely. But anyway, hello, precious metal. Are you gold or silver? What are you? Or something else? How are you? Welcome. I've noticed precious metal before. I think you're a new one, aren't you? Anyway, I'm a wrong and oh dearie me. I don't think you're not that bad, mate. You're not that bad. But anyway, it's been a long history behind this. As you know, I bought this. Was it 3 months ago now? At the Watkins Bookshop. DJ says Silicon Valley tech heads like to fiddle with more than your channel. Is that your channel? Hello, see how we are living. How are you, sir? Are you well? How are you? No, no slice mad. How about Trump making Starmer look like a right sausage? The phrase lion and lamb come to mind, or maybe slug rather than lamb. But you know what? I mean, I would enjoy it a lot more if Trump would release the Epstein files. I would. No, Ben, children. Oh. Oh, you mean children, right? They want to fit. Yes, they do. And what about Starmer and the nonsense in his own ranks? Oh, man. Anyway, yes, the Online Safety Act applies now, so we've got to be careful what we say. We mustn't say any words that might be interpreted as anti-government dissidents. And if we do, then we're in big trouble. There'll be knocks on my door, and I'll be arrested quicker than Hugo Rune when they discovered his little plantation. Anyway, so put a 1 in chat if you've read it. I hope you have. If you haven't, not the end of the world, but you may have seen his videos. But do read it. Do go out and get a copy. It's pretty good. I mean, as you said from my review, Anthony put a comment on there and he said he really liked it. Ah, yes. Kieran, the Ukrainian rent. Oh, yes, that's right. I love my government, and so should you. Oh, nihilist lives matter. Talk about Stockholm Syndrome. Green tea, welcome from across the pond in that lovely land of America, where I went a couple of months ago. Had a great time. How are you? I saw Anthony over there, didn't I? Do you remember? I saw him over there. And I saw Dr. Pascal Michael. Do the laws apply to all of the UK? Yes. Yes, they do. Yes, it's. I've done it. I covered this in the recent Third Rail Radio. I covered it in detail here. I did a. Here we go. There we go. It's in here. It says here. Look, thank goodness we're now safe online. Now that, of course, is an ironic. That's an ironic piece of work. That is. Ah, yes, your plantation, Hugo. We know all about that. Oh, see how we live in. Yeah, bought an early copy from Tony. I haven't had a chance to read it yet. Oh dear. Do read it. It's actually not very long. It's actually the paper's quite heavy and the print's not very small, so it's actually not that long. Hello, Neil Peel. We were just talking about you. Yeah, how come you don't get copyright strikes? Because Neil, you didn't get a copyright. I mean, I'm not blaming you or anything. I'm not angry. It's not your fault. But you uploaded the copy of my Dorset talk, and you included the clip from the film The Discovery, where Robert Redford and Jason Segel are having this very interesting discussion. And I play. It's like literally 2 minutes Obvious case of fair use. I got a bloody copyright strike on my channel for doing that, and you didn't, amazingly. How interesting. Anyway, where should we start? So, what's if you read this book, right? And I said, go and read it. Honestly, I don't think you would understand it unless you've read Anthony's other things, or you might think it's a piece of skeptic propaganda unless you've read Anthony's other works. If you haven't read, like I'd say, read Cheating the Ferryman. All you got to do is read Cheating the Ferryman. If you read that, that's all you need to read this one as well, I'd say. But you can't just pick this up and expect to understand everything in it. It is not meant to be self-contained. I don't think any of Anthony's books are, actually. I don't think they are. Yeah. But anyway, so his view. I mean, I've already done the review. I'm not going to repeat what I said in the review. But he's not like he's not like a complete believer in how most people regard the NDE, because most people see it as the detachment of the soul from the body, and then the soul actually enters another realm, which can be described as heaven. It's very, very like beautiful, and they describe it as being a joyful place. That's what they say. However, the experience of Arthur, the New Guinea native, he sees it a place which he considers very, very pleasant as well, but it's totally different from what we see. But people in Western industrialized countries literally see heaven differently to how the New Guinea natives see it. And there is definitely something specific to do with that that makes it different. There's definitely something specifically. It's something specifically to do with ourselves rather than the objective reality of what we're seeing. There is something objective there, but it's not. It is dependent on how we see it. Now, this fits in very well with What Dreams May Come, because if you remember, in the movie, it's actually it's specifically good. In the movie, when Chris, the main character, arrives in the spirit world, he arrives in a world which is made of paint. Everything is made of paint. It's because his wife was an artist, and it's literally like he's in one of her paintings. Yeah. Just going to go through comments. No, I've seen more boobs than probe photos online since the act. I like the way you misspell it. I've seen about average. I think it's 50-50 for me. Not that I go looking for these things. Yeah, the Eidolon. Yeah, the Daemon and the Eidolon. You get that, DJ? Yeah, that is actually, again, Anthony finds parallels with, for example, ancient mythology or various kind of religions, especially the ancient Egyptian religion, which did believe there were souls on different levels, which would be the Eidolon is your conscious mind. It's your temporary conscious mind in your existence. The Daemon is your higher self. But then there's other things like the Ka and the Ba in Egypt. What Anthony uses the terms Uberdaemon. Hello, Jack and Off. Tony says the shill and blocks anyone who disagrees with him. Complete hypocrite. Oh dear. I've heard that name. I don't know who it is. Hello, Tina B. Hello, Tina Silver. How are you? Another blonde. How are you, dear? How are you? Ben's background looks like he's beckoning him to walk towards the light. It's a bit unnerving. Oh, right. It's like I've got my back turned and there's this portal opened up behind me. But it is like I showed it you before. I have to close that to see it properly. This is a painting by Hieronymus Bosch, who's a Dutch guy who lived in the 15th and 16th century. And you can see it's very old, this, but he sees the tunnel of light and there's beings at the other end. There's these angelic figures in the foreground. Interesting, that, isn't it? Hello, Robert Burt Johnny. How are you? Tony says a David Icke wannabe. There is only one David Icke, and he is irreplaceable. Oh, this is interesting. Yeah. Green Tea says, I once had a beautiful conversation with a pastor who sat on the hospital palliative care team. Some amazing stories of right before and during passing. Yeah. You go to hospitals and especially, like I said, palliative care. It's everything. There's deathbed visions, even angels appear. I mean, and very often the person on their deathbed will be looking up and saying, "Wow, I see. I can see. Oh, my granddad's there. He's come to meet me." Things like that. And these are very, very moving stories. Peter Fenwick and his wife, whose name I can't remember, they used to write a lot about this in their book. Anthony mentions Peter Fenwick. I mean, he's literally read everything he can on the whole issue. And he criticizes them for not being scientific enough. And I suppose they don't go into the kind of details that Anthony does. Anthony just says, I don't want this just to be another series of experiences. I mean, at some point you've got to say, okay, it's real. We've heard enough of these experiences to know there is something real going on. But we need to know how it works. And I understand that. I'm not sure that's actually correct, because with Peter Fenwick, he does. I think he does understand a lot of the things that Anthony does. And believe it or not, Peter did comment on the Gima Borjigin thing, which is really quite amazing. He did comment on that. I'll show you the TikTok video I made of that. At least I won't get hopefully I won't get a copyright strike for playing my own bloody videos. If I have to nip off to the loo or something, I will do that. I'll show you I will show you the TikTok video I made. But he actually, believe it or not, and Peter did reply to him. Peter's passed away himself now. Yeah, he's passed away himself. So whatever's on the other side, he knows now. If there's something there, he knows it. Hachi. Embrace death. It is inevitable. I don't know if embrace is the right word. Because that implies you're looking forward to it, and people like say that when they're suicidal. They go, and I don't. It's not something I specifically look forward to, because my life has value, and I want it to continue for as long as possible. At the same time, I'm not frightened of dying. Absolutely not. I'm not frightened at all. I'm frightened of other people's death, people I love, but I'm not frightened of my own death. Hello, Red Snapper. Welcome. I hope you're enjoying it. You're still going through. He's still going through all my old reply to comments videos, as old Red. He's just got to do one of the 7-hour ones. Hugo Rune. Do I believe in God? I choose not to. God plays jokes on me. All right. I suppose I don't know if you could choose your beliefs, Hugo. Could you change your mind and say, okay, I'm going to believe in God now? Do you like the idea? Would you be happier if you believed in God? I'm curious to know, because that's a kind of a strange thing. I choose not to believe something. I don't choose what I can do and do not believe. We don't, as Sargon of Akkad says, we don't choose our beliefs. They come to us as things we believe are true or false. But would you be happier? Does he play jokes on you? I mean, I don't know. Obviously, like, we all have ups and downs in our life. You and yourself, you've had to cope with a disability for most of your life, when other people haven't. At the same time, though, you've lived to be far older than a lot of people have. Some people die much younger, and you could call that a joke as well. Or some people have not really no meaning in it. Like you yourself have become an activist. Do you see what I mean? It's so if it's maybe he plays jokes on all of us in one way or another. Tina Silver, cancel my subscription to the Resurrection. At least they don't charge you, do they? Like Sky. But I mean, Anthony has this idea, as you know, he outlines in Cheating the Ferryman. He believes in he has a unique vision about what it means, the afterlife, and what it means. And this is that, in essentially we don't reincarnate. Well, he believes. Well, funny enough, I challenged him on this, and he conceded that I used to believe he thought we don't reincarnate at all. In a sense, we come back. We just simply live the same life again. In other words, we become the same person again. Sure, we have a different life. We have different lives. in some lives, we do different things. I mean, indeed, the purpose of this eternal return is to try and live the ideal life. And Anthony uses the he uses the comparison of the film Groundhog Day, which is very good. If you've not seen Groundhog Day, please do. DJ, have you been listening to the Doors again? Yeah, they were named after the Doors of Perception by Aldous Huxley, the guy who experimented with mescaline and LSD and stuff like that. Hello, Christian Thompson. Oh, I like your avatar. I have come here to chew bubblegum and to kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum. Yes. Put the sunglasses on. It doesn't matter if you believe in God. What matters is if God believes in you. Well, if God exists, I'm sure he does. Nice lives matter. Watching all of the reply to comment videos is quite the commitment. Yes, honestly, yeah. Red Snapper, it's quite something, I'll tell you. Hugo says here, which God? I have lived in so many cultures with many different ideas of God. That's a good question. I mean, Richard Dawkins says it. We're all atheists about the old God. None of us believe in Wotan and Zeus. But we atheists, we just go one God further. Green Tea says, maybe my biggest fear of dying is that I got kind of passive in life and I'm not quite done living to the fullest yet. Well, I mean, I'm sure if when I'm on my deathbed, I'll look back and I'm sure I'll have regrets. But as that song goes, regrets, I've had a few. That Frank Sinatra song. After all, too few to mention. Well, there might be enough to mention. There's things I have, and the reason is the things I sometimes think I should have done and didn't, or didn't do. I actually talk about them quite a lot. Especially interestingly, if you listen to the Gas Banner or read the HBWA, I think that's why I go into my regrets the most. Generally speaking, though, I mean, I wouldn't swap places with anyone. I wouldn't want to be someone different to who I am. But funnily enough, I did challenge Anthony on this point, and I said, well, does that mean all you do is you go back, you go around forever and ever and ever in an infinite regress, an infinite loop? And I says, because the idea that you come back as somebody else, maybe you come back as an animal or a goat or a baby chick or a bacterium, or maybe you come back as an alien on another planet, like, the people who channel, what's her name used to channel? The Ozark Mountains lady. What's her name? Dolores Cannon. You see, there were lots of other researchers along with Anthony. Not all of them agree with him. But I mean, I did challenge Anthony on this, and he actually said, "Well, these two." I said, "At least these two visions and these two models of the universe are not mutually exclusive." So, for example, you can believe in a lot of returns, and even Anthony says you don't go around forever. Like Phil, the character in Groundhog Day, he eventually does move on to the next day, and we also can move on to the next day. And in the case of his model, the cheating the ferryman model, that would assume mean a different life. You move on to a different kind of life. The feather of Mart, says Tina. Yeah, this refers to I mean, you're familiar with Egypt, I know, and you've lived there. Graham Hancock talks about this. When a person dies in ancient mythology, you have a trial. You literally, they put you in a courtroom, and you have to face Mart, the god of justice. And the procedure is very simple. They get a weighing scale out, and they put a feather on one of it, and they put your soul on the other, and you're on the other side. And the thing about it is that every wrongful act you commit will add weight to your soul. And if your soul has to be so light and so devoid of sin that it will not be outbalanced by a feather. It will not outbalance the feather, and only then will you'll essentially be pure. You'll be flawless, and then you can move on to whatever reward in the afterlife you get, or you can move on to a particular kind of afterlife. If you don't, then you go to the underworld. And now, you see, I don't believe in. People say, Ben, do you believe in hell? I believe there's a lower astral. There are very unpleasant experiences you can have in creation, which you could describe as hellish. And in fact, I sometimes think, well, where are we now? What kind of world are we living in now? If this ain't hell, what isn't? I mean, but I don't believe it's a permanent resting place. It's not eternal damnation, as with the Judeo-Christian version of things. Groundhog Day is a classic. It is indeed. All right. Oh, this is DJ's addressing Hatchie. All right. Right. And the reindeer eat magic mushrooms, and the Viking used to drink the reindeer urine before battle. Yeah, that's right. They used to filter the urine. Actually, the reindeer used to pass the active ingredient in the urine, but not the toxin. Essentially, you sell magic like Majestic 12. No. Oh, you've been at the pub, Red Snapper. Good for you. We are the knights who say "ni." Yes. Have you got your shrubbery? That's a Monty Python reference there. Yeah. So So it could be, we don't have we don't go endlessly through the same life again. Oh, God forbid! I couldn't bear it. I couldn't bloody bear it. I hope I don't have to do this. So I don't have to do. Well, there's been some good things and bad things, and some lives you live differently. You have different things. You do different things. You might live a completely different life. For example, I might come back and not be a hospital porter. I might do a different job. In which case, I'd be a very, very different person to what I am right now. Because hospital portering made me. I'll tell you, it made me. I've been out of it now for 13 plus years, but you know what? I will always be an ex-hospital porter. If I live to be 100, I will always be an ex-hospital porter. So I'd be a very, very different kind of person. That's just one example. There are maybe there's other times when I never met the mother of my child, in which case I never had my daughter, so my daughter wouldn't have existed in that universe. So she herself doesn't exist. She doesn't coexist with me in all our universes. She only coexists in the universes where I met her mother and ended up like having a baby with her. Yeah. Oh, we have here Walt. Oh, no. Let's have a look. There's several people here. Hugo says, "Oh, my slurs based on the nights who say." Oh, I see. Right. The see where you're living. I love Anthony, but he's totally wrong about death. I've had a shared death and out of body experience, and the person definitely moves on somewhere. Well, yeah. I mean, I love Anthony too. I think he's great. I'm sort of not entirely sure if I believe everything he believes. I mean, I've been trying to find flaws in it. I'm not sure. I mean, it seems to make sense. However, as I've said, I don't think what you've said here, COE or nothing, that is shared death, out-of-body experiences, and moving on somewhere else. They're not mutually exclusive to his model, the cheating the ferryman model. As I've explained, you can have like a lot of... You can have like a lot of lives, but you can still move on. Yeah, you can move on somewhere else. Yes, the same way Connor's character did in Groundhog Day. Walt! Hello, Walt! How are you? Cheating the ferryman is not possible. Why is that, you think? I'd be interested to know. Oh yeah, so the political thought crime wing. Yeah, who knows? This is why I don't want to have to do this. I don't want to have to do this too many times more. I really don't, because yeah, I mean, I might not have to wait to the next life. The way this, certainly my own country is going, Britain. They will be interning people, definitely. Hello, Bill O'Connell. Repent. #repent. God bless you all. God bless you too. Hey, the Death Beats. Gary, how do you do? Welcome. Good to see you. Tina. When I first lived in Egypt, it was like I'd come home to the new places. So and I even knew where things were now missing or demolished. It could be a past life memory, Tina, because you see, we probably have had past lives. Just because I know when I say past lives, I don't mean like the cheating the ferryman thing. We probably were different people at different times, and maybe we're different beings. We might have been aliens. And Dolores Cannon is fascinating. I mean, I believe I can like study what Anthony has to say and also study other people, like Dolores Cannon, like I said. See, we're living. True, they or the entities with him didn't tell me where he was going, though he said it had all been explained to him. Well, it's funny enough, the entities you do meet beings. I mean, Anthony talks about egregorials, and he describes in the book. He says a lot in the book about exactly who these beings are. And we have like angels. There's demons. There's machine elves. Hugo Rune, don't pay the ferryman. I don't know. I mean, what? This is the idea. It's Charon. Charon is the ferryman that crosses the river Styx. According to the ancient Greeks, the soul went across the river Styx and ended up in the afterlife. Green tea. Does Anthony speak about the theory of the soul trap? What are your thoughts? He doesn't mention it in this book. I've only read 3 of his books. He might mention it in another. DJ Bootu. Same with the times when cars have collided me on a motorcycle. Oh dear. What happened to you, mate? Well, did you have like a, oh my God, I'm about to die thing? Because like when people have that, it's very strange when people have this. It's not the same. It's not like a near-death experience, but they have this amazing feeling the moment they think they're about to die. It's like Anthony gives the example. Did he give the example? Somebody gave the example of the guy who jumped out of. He did doing a parachute jump, and he pulls the ripcord. The parachute doesn't work, and so he says, "Okay, I've got the backup one." He pulls the backup one. That doesn't work either. So both the parachutes fail. And in that situation, he just in the movies they went right, and then but that didn't happen. He didn't do that. He had a kind of oh shit moment, but it passed over very quickly. And he actually came. He had a feeling of calm, almost euphoria. And of course, of course, Anthony goes into the neurology of the whole thing and says it's the glutamates and the GABAs and things like that. I don't know the actual details specifically, but it's something. But this doesn't make it unreal. It doesn't make it unreal. He had what you might call a transcendental experience during the 30 seconds or so it take him to hit the ground. He had it seemed to take hours. He said time slowed down, and indeed, Anthony talks about time dilation in this book. And well, he didn't hit the ground. Luckily, by an incredibly good luck, he landed on a haystack or something. He broke a couple of bones, but he survived. You may think that's bad luck, both parachutes failing. It was actually an attempted murder. Someone had sabotaged them. Right, see, that's the kind of thing we're talking about, DJ. But where you have like a strange feeling when you think you're about to die. But the actual near-death experience, there's 2 types of near-death experiences. There's the one that you describe and the one that I've just described. And there's the one where you literally are unconscious and you go into a different world. Hatchy. I've had one out-of-body thing, hence the reason death for us all is just an experience. All right, yeah. Krista Burr sang that. Did he? I don't remember. I just remember the Lady in Red sort of thing. And when it came out, I was a little kid, so he came out with all kinds of rude versions of it. Lady in Bed, stuff like that. But yes, Dolores Cannon regressed people. She didn't channel. That's correct. Her method was not to go into trance herself. She put people into trance, and they reported some extraordinary things. I mean, in the Convoluted Universe, the second Convoluted Universe book, she describes a young woman who remembered like a life on another planet as an alien. And what's interesting, this young woman was not. She herself was, to be polite to her, she was not like very bright. She was not like a high IQ genius. Yet she used far more when she was in trance. She spoke in a far more educated way, or a much more intelligent way than when she spoke normally. See how we're living. These were the light beings shaped like eggs who seemed annoyed with having to lower their vibration. Well, they do get annoyed with you. Anthony describes in the book, he says that there was somebody took a substance and went into like a DMT realm, and the being said, no, this isn't the way to do it. Go back and try and find another way. I mean, when he took DMT again, the same being came up to him and said, look, we told you last time, don't take this drug, find a different way. They do communicate like that. It's really amazing. Deathbed. I like the ferryman scene in Gladiator 2. It was literally the only good scene in the movie. I've not seen that movie. I really enjoyed the first one, but the problem is that good films tend to make really bad sequels. In fact, Hollywood makes too many sequels. Hollywood seems to produce nothing now except pointless sequels and remakes. And so I thought if I watch it, it'll just spoil it. It'll just spoil my experience of the original, which I don't want. DJ says, as time goes on, Terence McKenna's novelty theory and time-wise zero is getting more real. Well, not quite, because we passed like the zero moment. Funny enough, the same time as the Mayan calendar changed over in late 2012. I think Anthony said November the 7th, 2012, and the Mayan calendar changed over December the 23rd. Was it the 21st or 23rd, 2012? Oh, Ben says, oh, Hatchie. Hi, Hatchie. All right. Don't pay the ferryman until he gets you to the other side. Is that Krista Burr who sung that song? Hello, Jeffrey Hindley. How are you? Has anyone heard of Dr. Eben Alexander? Yes. You said even, but it's Eben. Yes, he appears in the book. He's very, very well known. He was actually a surgeon himself. He was like a neurological surgeon. And he was a skeptic, but then he had this experience. Tina says Gladiator 2 was very good, was it? All right. That's maybe. Well, if you like it, maybe it's not that bad, Tina. Right, have I missed some things here? Tina says, I travelled to many ancient sites. It wasn't until I got to Luxor that I knew I was home. Luxor, so maybe that's where you lived in your past life. Green Tea. The experience of Eben Alexander, if true, contradicts the brain chemical theory. Well, there's so many contradictions, Green Tea. It's unbelievable. As I said in the previous video, in order to accept the materialist model, you have to pile coincidence upon unlikely, completely far out ideas and put them all together and somehow make them cohere like some great big Jenga tower. If you believe the materialistic model for the NDE, that's what you got to do. And the only people who seem to believe in it, or most of the people who seem to promote this, are MBAers. So again, they have an emotional connection to this outcome. You go with fellow traveller, pleased to meet you. All right. Tina, you don't smoke the wacky backy, do you? Oh, you've had it out OBE2 under deep meditation. All right. What's this? Elliot muskrat severance. A brain chips be scrambled eggs. I don't know what you mean, Bill, but I know there's going to electronic implants and things are being done. All right. Definitely. Dr. E said he met a woman when in his coma who turned out to be his dead sister. He didn't know he had. Yeah, I think Anthony mentions that in here somewhere. I don't know if I wrote it down in my notes. DJ. The zero moment was a transition point and an acceleration point on time wave zero. Yeah. Well, where are we now if we're on past time wave zero? And we're in the new Mayan calendar. We're in the sixth sun. And things have gone. Funny enough, could it be we actually did enter a new world? Because look how things have changed since then. Look how things have changed. Hachi says, me and the dog have picked a bowl of blackberries today. Beautiful experience. So natural, like hunting and gathering. Oh, I love this time of year for the blackberries. Yeah, I really do. Tina, there's a reference in Life of Brian in Gladiator 2. Graffiti on the wall of the arena. What? Oh, really? What? To Romane Aunt Domus? Romane Aunt Domus? What's that? Romani, conjugate the verb. Yes, but you must use the imperative. Yeah. Really? Is that true? It's Romani ite domum. DJB2. Reading Machiavellian Dante. My goodness me, that's a bit of a. Are you reading? Oh my god, that's quite a interesting. I mean, they were both sort of from the Italian region in ancient times or old times, but we all smoke to see how we live in. Oh my goodness me. Honestly, odd that I don't partake. Okay. Severance is about split lives via brain chips. All right. When I think of Severance, I think of like the comedy one, the one with there's Tim McInerney and Danny Dyer, and they're these guys who go into the woods, and it's quite funny. They meet these, and there's this weird thing where Danny's character has a weird split personality. No, Ben, I mean international travel. Lol, stop it. Oh, I see. Okay, I see what you mean. Fellow traveller, that's it. Oh, the Deathbed says, Gary, I'm glad you enjoyed Gladiator 2. It's a terrible movie, relies entirely on being able to say, look at me, I'm Gladiator 2. Every aspect of the movie is poorly done. Well, Gary, this is Hollywood now, unfortunately. Yep, Romans go home. Romani ite domum. Yeah. He's a very naughty boy. Hello, Lotus Fire. Are you from the States? Hi. Did you go to Contact in the Desert? Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go to the cinema unless I have an outside chance of enjoying the movie. It's despite the fact that Tina thinks it's good. I'm afraid I'm yet. The last good remake was King Kong in 2006. That was Peter Jackson's King Kong. But since then, that was actually really, really good. It really built on the old movie without taking anything away from it. It was really good. Hello, have you been to Contact in the Desert? You went? Did you go? Hey, what was it? Did I meet you? Are you someone I met? Are you that? Are you? I won't name you, but I think I know who you might be. Did you email me? Go Lotus Fire. What's it? Where's this? Everyone who watched KBS is a guaranteed smoker. Well, I wasn't. Bill says Elon Musk's Colossus supercomputer to collect everyone, the Internet of Bodies, the Borg. Funny enough, that comes up in my AI video, Colossus, the Forbin project, about the robot, the computer that runs everything, the computer overlord. Green tea. If you've never heard a lecture by Jim Tucker or an interview with Raymond Moody, they both have fascinating documented cases of children remembering past lives. They do, yes. They do. I mean, Jim Tucker worked with Ian Stevenson, and they went around finding all kinds of real past life memories and stuff, yeah. Well, sorry for the delayed response, Ben. Just got home. You cannot cheat a higher entity, re ferryman. Unless it's an illusion and they want you to, you see. All right, so I was going to say something. Oh yeah, Anthony talks about like how deja vu is like it is like when you do this in his cheating the ferryman model where you never cross over the river Styx, you continue in your life and you live it again. Then deja vu is actually a memory of something significant that happens previously, and you get a hint of it. Your daemon gives you a hint of it. The ferryman gets angry when you piss on the deck. Yeah, I thought he looked pretty scary. As I said, the picture on the cover says, "I don't want to cheat him." Hatchy. The Model T Ford originally ran on cannabis oil. Wakey bloody wakey. Oh, that's yes. The hemp oil and stuff like that. Yeah, it could create plastics, fuel, everything, couldn't it? And in fact, the original, when the first mass-produced one came out in 1905, there were two lines. One was electric, and Tesla said he would provide electricity freely for the electric ones. And then J.P. Morgan came along and shut down that line completely and said that Ford could only produce petrol cars. And again, not And again, hemp oil went the same way as free energy. And so it was only petroleum was allowed. It was all it goes back so far, this conspiracy, it really does. All right. Oh, yes. I should go through the comments on the notice. So when I put up the show note, I've now deleted this, but Red Snapper said, first, well done, Red Snapper. I don't know, you get a tinfoil hat for a temporary notice? I don't know. And then someone called Wacky Race Z said, you are babyliciously mad, Ben. Love you. Oh, right. Thanks. Then Arts Channel said, your inner daemon. All right. Because I use this like still of me and Anthony on there. Yeah. Let's have a look through here. Oh, yeah. Dr. Pascal Michael. I couldn't find. I mean, you probably know better than I do about exactly where on my video it appears, where he appears in it. But I did actually say, I didn't actually interview him, but I filmed him from a distance. I said, that's him. That's a guy called Pascal. He's British. Arts Channel. Will we ever be free? Yeah, we have to be. Oh, it's interesting. Tina says prohibition was banning people selling alcohol to put in cars to force purchase of petrol. That's interesting. So it wasn't about stopping people boozing, because you'd think to yourself, why do they want to stop people boozing? When you think how much tax they get off alcohol, and maybe it was an ulterior motive. It was like the Online Safety Act, as I said on Third Rail the other day. Do you really think this is about protecting children? Do you really think the government give a damn about children online? Of course not. That's the excuse. That's the justification, and that's the justification and the way to moral blackmail you if you don't go along with it. And indeed, I've been people have been retweeting stuff from MPs saying anyone who opposes the Online Safety Act doesn't care about the welfare of children. Well, you see, it's a nasty trick, isn't it? Oh, right. Right, Lotus Fire's used her name here. All right. If all time is occurring at once, deja vu would be just the energetic ability to read a simultaneous chapter, but then wonder about free will. You can say my name, no worries. Tiffany's. Oh, Tiffany, I thought it was you. Hi, Tiffany, how are you? Is your mum all right? Hope she's all right. Yeah, but Tiffany was actually, I met Tiffany at Contact, yeah. It's great you joined us, Tiffany. Thanks. I resisted abbreviations for a long time, but they come in handy now and again. Why is abbreviation such a long word? It's weird, isn't it? Proto-feminists were paid to push prohibition. Well, they certainly promoted what women being made into taxpayers, didn't they? So they could use women as tax cows before, when previously they weren't. Yeah. Jack and Off says, "Oh, my experience of mediumship is all positive and healing. I don't fall for the demonic BS." Good for you. I mean, when I went to spiritualist churches, I found the same thing. I found they were all. I never had a bad. Well, I wouldn't say I never had a bad experience at a spiritualist church, but the bad experiences I have came from some of the idiots who were there with me. I know they can't protect children offline, COE living, because they don't care about children. They don't. If they did, they'd care. They would stop importing people with from places with very high crime rates, and they would do something about the nonsense in their own ranks, like Oliver Letwin. And Oliver Letwin was caught by those pedo hunters. Do you remember? Was it Oliver Letwin? I better check. I don't want to slander anyone. Yeah, he was. I think he was. Yeah. Yeah, I think he was. He was Boris Johnson's Chancellor of the Exchequer. Yeah. Well, he was someone. Who was the one who was caught on the streets? So maybe I've got the wrong one. So apologies, Oliver, if you're watching. It's not you, okay? So don't sue me. It's someone else. They were caught by these pedo hunters. Yeah. Now, the government will lace it with opium and LSD to make it public compliant. Tony Blair. Yeah, who is it? The one that was caught by? I want to get this right. Hang on. MP caught by pedo hunters. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, this is it. Right. So it's all right. Ivor Kaplan. Sorry, here we are. This is it. So Oliver, apologies, it's not you. This is it. I remember this. Former Labour MP arrested during paedophile sting months after being suspended from the party. You know, why the hell? And of course, they kept him in custody, and then the police came and arrested him. What the hell is this government coming to? And there's others people. There's like, what's his name? There is the guy who's hiring male prostitutes. What's his name? Blair, yes, see how we live in. Blair, Tony Blair, well, I know we're going off topic here. He was caught for those of you who know Oxford, when he was a student at New College, he was caught cottaging in the underground toilets on St. Giles. And they were in the middle of the road. They've been shut now. They've been shut for quite a while. He was caught in there cottaging and he got arrested. But because he's Tony Blair and he's well connected, nothing was done about it. Oh, Bertie Macron, yes. You've been watching Candace Owens, yeah. Stuff. I mean, I think she's proved her case about Macron's partner, whatever he or she is called. The thing about this, I mean, if the thing about Macron's person, other better self, what is it, a significant other, right? Hugo Rune. Did you fall down? Did you come down in the last shower or something? What is cottaging? Don't you know? Goodness me. That's a bit embarrassing explaining it to you. It's basically guys in toilets having sex. Meeting to have sex in toilets. That's what it is. All right. Dear, I wouldn't have used that term if I knew there was someone here so naive and they wouldn't know what that meant. That's it. Keith Vaz. Yes, he was hiring rent boys. Yeah. I mean, honestly, what is it with this government? Or what was it? What is it? I know we're going off topic here. We're going off topic. Carter just cove. Yes, we got to talk about Steve. We got to talk about Charlie Veitch. I forgot. Not for my world. Gary says cottaging is what Steve Mumbling gets up to when he's not making YouTube videos. Oh, honestly, man, I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn, right? If two men if two consenting adult men want to do something together, it's up to them, and I don't give a damn. But if they're going to do it in toilets, it's public. So why don't they just go to their own home? And I know it's a tradition that had kind of emerged when it was kind of like illegal, and so it was the only sort of place you could go without being arrested. Of course, you end up getting arrested in toilets. Yeah, but you can go to your own home these days. I mean, just invite someone around. I mean, if I don't have a partner, but if I had one, I wouldn't take her to some public toilet. I'd invite her back to my place and I'd clean it up, or I'd go to her place. But anyway, on the subject of Bridget, what her name is, like, if Macron was married to someone who was transgender, why doesn't he just say so? Because I wouldn't care if he was. I wouldn't care. I don't care if he's married to someone who's transgender. I mean, I'm sure the lefties would love it, wouldn't they? I mean, all the lefties would go nuts for him. They'd probably vote for him just because of that. So why don't he? Why can't he just be honest? I'd just be happy. I'd feel a little bit more respect for him. I mean, I feel no respect for that man, but I may feel a slight inkling of respect for him if he just come out and say who Bridget Macron really is. Cyril Smith, Tina, was evil. He's completely evil, and he was allowed to get over. Oh dear, Tiffany. Tiffany, it's a British thing. I think it's a British term. I don't know if you have this. I don't know if you have the same terminology in the US. Jack enough. What's your favourite pint? I think of Thatcher's Gold cider, lovely West Country cider. If Steve wants to do that in public toilets, I wouldn't hold it against him. I wouldn't hold it against him either in a public toilet, mate. I really wouldn't. Now, if Steve wants to, if Steve Bumbling can do what the hell he likes, I don't care about other people's private lives. I really don't. Yeah, exactly. Keep it to yourself. Go enjoy. Go home, enjoy if you wish, but keep it to yourself. Exactly. It's private. It's something that's private. It's not. It's a problem. Yeah. Macron is embarrassed. Oh, is he? I didn't mean you personally. Sure enough. It's okay, Hugo. It's all right. Absolutely. Jeff Veach lives near me. I've seen him while shopping. I'm going to ask him about Building 7. I've seen Veach. Jeff says Veach lives near me. I've seen him while shopping, and if I see him next time, I'm going to ask him about Building 7. Please do, Jeff, because you know he'll get his camera out and start filming you. If I was in Manchester and I saw him at work, I'd go up and talk to him, and I'd be nice. I mean, he's got his 2 bodyguards. There's Fred here and there's T there, and they push people away, all the crackheads and the Palestinian protesters. Oh, hey, right, but they wouldn't need to do that to me because I'd just be polite to him, and I'd say, look, Charlie, I'm still a conspiracy theorist. You realise that you made a massive mistake here. You made a massive mistake. All right. Yes. So I was going to this. Back on topic. What was I going to say? Back on topic. I've done the contacts. I talked about Dr. Pascal Michael, and it is him. This chap here was. You see, I was really surprised when I saw him, and I realised, of course, he was there because Anthony wasn't he? This chap here, and I spoke to him, and I said, "Oh, he's done the forward for the book." That's definitely him. That's definitely him. Yeah, that's definitely him. He was at Contact. He's changed his hairstyle a bit, but you see he's Dr. Lecturer. He received BSc. Oh no, I don't want cookies. Oh, yeah. BSc Honours, University of Aberdeen. This is qualifications in neuroscience. Go away. No, I don't know. Transpersonal psychology. That'd be interesting. And it gives you a list of his. It gives you a list of his various qualifications here. Oh, he presented at Breaking Conventions. Right, and Niall Murphy used to talk about that. The Psychedelic Society at UK. A Tyringham initiative. All right. He sounds like a bit of a space cadet, to be honest. Michael, Michael Luke. Oh, wow. Niall Murphy would love that. I don't know if Niall's probably not watching. Charles likes dinner dates with Mariana Spring. I don't know. I don't know if Charlie actually changed his mind, because a lot of people accuse him of being a shill. I personally think that he just saw that he could make more kind of like drama for his channel by doing this. Unfortunately, I'm cynical about Charlie. I mean, you may have seen my article on the auditing thing that he now goes about doing what he does simply to get content for his channel. I mean, this is why I question about when he says he's now pro-Israel. I question that. I don't think he is. I don't know what's going on in his head. I don't know. Only he knows what's in his mind, but I question his sincerity. But you may have noticed that the Palestinian protesters are far more volatile. They're far easier to provoke. See how we're living. My name's Ben, and you're watching the Charlie V Show. Oh, would I do that? I don't know. Walt. Niall is great. I miss his rants. Yes. Oh, he hasn't uploaded anything for ages, has he? He really hasn't. Is his channel still there? I hope so. Through opaque lens. Through an opaque lens. Let's have a look. Oh, it's all stuff. Oh, it's all stuff for contact lenses. Oh, don't say his channel's gone. Let's have a look. Oh, no, here's his channel. Oh, he's deleted the content. He's deleted the content. He just does like there's some community posts, but no content. Oh, Niall, oh, that's a shame. Maybe on Alt Tech it's still there. I don't know. Maybe stuff on Alt Tech is still there. Oh, maybe he says here, I've got YouTube vlogger fatigue. I'm overwhelmed by how fooked up the world is in the news, and doing this channel keeps drawing me into depressing events. I'll likely put a video up in the not too distant future, but right now the channel feels like a ball and chain. I need a few weeks freedom in the world of tropical paradise. That's fair enough. That was 9 months ago. Well, Niall, if you're watching, mate, I hope you're all right. I really do. I hope you're all right. Oops. I did go looking for him in Krakatoa Gardens. Oh. Hello, David. Hi, David. How you doing, man? How you doing? Okay, well, we've been going for an hour, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my TikTok video. Well, I nip out and have a little break. Where is it? I'll show you. I've got loads of I haven't uploaded for TikTok for a while. When did I last upload to TikTok? There's my videos I made here. Oh, that was the most recent one. Sherma loses the NBA. Yeah. Here we are. NDE smoking gun. Can you see that? All right, guys. I'll be back in a minute. I hope you enjoy this.
Conspiracies, government cover-ups, Earth mysteries, monster cryptids.
Hospital Porter's pride and dignity, stop the New World Order. Welcome to Hapanwo TV on TikTok. Well, there's a new study been released about the near-death experiences, which is definitely the most interesting I've ever seen. It's the latest in a series, which indicates there's some neurological connection to the near-death experience. Now, this is groundbreaking stuff, because in previous decades it was assumed that the brain was not working during the terminal state. This is the fundamental basis of people like Sampania, Peter Fenwick, etc., etc. Now, this is different. This is a controlled experiment. The previous ones were not. They were accidental, like the guy who had a heart attack. Well, he happened to be having an EEG, just pure potluck. This is different. This is a controlled experiment. Some very, very decent people and very bravely allowed their loved ones to be used in it. This is the closest to flatliners that is possible to get ethically and legally. Now, what happened was 4 patients that were in a profound vegetative state, in other words, they've been in a coma for a very long time, were monitored while doctors, to coin a phrase, pulled the plug. Now, what happens is very interesting, because two of the patients out of the 4 didn't just do what was expected, which they just sort of declined and then eventually just died. 2 of them, believe it or not, experienced a surge of brain activity in the time immediately after they'd been, a few minutes after they'd basically been shut down and allowed to die. Their heart and lungs, which had been maintained by machines in the intensive care, were switched off. Now, this was not just random. This wasn't random activity in the brain. I was previously assumed random, disorganized, like firing of neurons. This was very different.
Now, this is one of the illustrations on Dr. Borjegan's paper. Now, it's important to focus on the graph at the top left, because this is the easiest one to understand if you're not an expert. It's very, very simple. The vertical axis is simply frequency of the EEG output, and on the horizontal axis you simply have time. And it's the red areas that are important, because you see an increase in the red areas during the time period of about 450 to 200 seconds before death. And they reveal activity in the EEG frequencies that we associate with the waking state of consciousness and or dreaming. It's also similar to the ones in which patients experience seizures and report hallucinations or out-of-body experiences. And also, this activity is traced to specific parts of the brain involving processing of sensory stimuli, problem solving, and spatial awareness. And that's what the other graphs reveal.
Now, what's interesting is this didn't happen immediately. This happened literally 13 minutes after cardiac arrest. So the patient was just lying there for 13 minutes with no activity in the heart. No, this is when it's happened. This is scary for me as an ex-hospital porter, because I had to deal with dead bodies in that time period immediately after they died. I mean, were their brains working? Were they, things like that. Both these patients, you must remember, were in a profound vegetative state. I mean, someone said to me, well, why don't they revive them then? The brain's working, why don't they revive them? They can't. They can't revive them because nothing in their body's working at that point, apart from their brains. Nothing's been working for a very long time. If they could have revived them from that state, they would have done so previously. No, they were in a deep, deep coma. Their general consciousness scale was like really close to zero. Now, the question has to be right. The question then comes up, and I'm sure a lot of skeptics are going to love this. Is this the materialist smoking gun? Should people like me who like the idea of survival and kind of believe in it, should we be worried by this? Is this going to prove us wrong? Is this what the MBAers have been waiting for years, so they can finally rub our noses in it? They can finally show us how foolish we are and how great they are. They say, look, here we are. We told you all along. You're nothing, and when you're dead, that's it, mate. Your life's over, and that's the end of you. Enjoy oblivion, suckers. Is it that? Now, I would say at this point, no. Even Dr. Borjigin herself, in a recent lecture she gave, admits that this cannot explain the entire near-death experience. It can't. It doesn't explain all the factors in the NDE. She's admitted that. Indeed, I knew that already because there are cases where people have got flat EEGs and they haven't experienced things like that. So this does not explain every factor of the NDE. So if you believe in a hereafter, heaven, and tunnel of light and meeting God, I don't think we've got anything to worry about right now. Also, I mean, when it comes to it, and indeed Dr. Borjigin brings up this point in her recent lecture, which you can find online, just put her name into YouTube, there are distinct qualitative factors with the NDE which are absent in, for example, in very, very vivid dreams or other forms of seizure hallucinations and things like that. And indeed, to be fair, the kind of activity that Dr. Borjigin observed are seen in patients with seizures as well, the kind of who have hallucinations and out-of-body experience. Now, this is a scientific paradox, and one of her colleagues admitted this, and it reveals an awful lot about how the brain works, and I think it's very interesting from a neurologist's point of view. I just don't think it explains everything in the near-death experience. I think the MBAers, that's kind of, I know they're going to jump on this bandwagon, and indeed some of them already are, but I think their claim of victory is very premature at the moment, definitely. So the question is, I mean, if people are having this weird experience, they're having this sort of waking or dreaming experience when they're on the brink of death, what are they? What is that experience? We don't know because, of course, at that point, you can't recover them, and they didn't recover. What are they imagining? Who are they talking to if the language centers are working? Things like that. And again, why do brains do this? Why does the human brain do this? Why has it evolved this capacity? I mean, where's the evolutionary advantage to humans having this capacity in their brain? Is it just some kind of epiphenomenon? Is it some kind of accidental byproduct of brain activity that it serves no purpose? It just happens to be that way. It's kind of like a neurological appendix or something like that. I don't know. Alternatively, is this actually a mechanism that is used by the spiritual within the body in the same way that, if you've ever read DMT, the Spirit Molecule by Dr. Rex Strassman, because I think his work was very interesting because he actually came to the same conclusion. He started off as a skeptic, just believing in, your brain's all there is, it's all neurons and nothing else. He came away believing in the spiritual world and the spiritual existence. And it was all because of his research into the DMT molecule and its effects on the brain. In fact, his hypothesis and many others is that the spirit uses this mechanism. It's actually the reason we've evolved this mechanism is specifically so that spirit can use it within our physical being. Now, if that's the case, then is this something similar? Is this something that the spiritual is within the material? That's a good question. And I find it very, very interesting, actually, that Dr. Borjigin has actually did work on DMT previously before she started work on NDEs. And I can't help wondering, is this, did she meet Dr. Strassman? I wonder what she thinks about that. I mean, I haven't looked into that in detail yet. I've checked some of the skeppers, and a lot of the skeppers are very quiet. Strangely enough, Susan Blackmore hasn't said a word about this, as far as I can tell. I checked her website and Twitter feed, couldn't find anything. But no doubt this will come up at some point, and when it does, of course, it'll be up to us to address it if we believe it's correct or incorrect, and maybe more future research will reveal more. We'll find out anyway. Whatever it is, whatever the truth is, I want to know what it is. I want to know what that truth is, and I'm willing to go there, and I'll accept whatever reality actually reveals to me. So this is Hapanmo TV on TikTok. I'll be back soon. Thank you very much for watching Hapanmo TV on TikTok. Hospital Porters, Pride and Dignity, stop the New World Order.
Conspiracies, government cover-ups, Earth mysteries, monster cryptid.
Right, how do I exit full screen on here? Right then, that's it. All right, here we go. What do you do? Let's go through your comments now. God, there's loads of comments here. I want to see. I don't think I can answer all these comments here, but yeah. Hey, David Splendid Isolation, how do you do? Johnny Fettler, hello, how do you do? Oh, Mab, hello, Mab, how are you? Welcome. Hugo says, please, I offer myself for experimentation of NDE. I wish to die. Let's investigate it. Oh, Hugo, I mean, if you can, I hope you won't go too soon, until you're ready, but, you can actually offer to take part in one of these experiments. I mean, I don't know what to say too many, but I've already contacted someone about repeating the experiment done by Harry Houdini. DJ, I'm annoyed by the chats too. Tina, saline or seawater is electrical. Our bodies are electrical. We are created when salty solution merged with a spark like static. That's right. Oh, you can hear me sitting down. Oh, I didn't mute the mic. Oh well, no worries. Ben, you were a conspiracy theorist on the KBS show, past tense. You and me should meet up 1-to-1. I'll be glad to, Hatchie. Yeah, I'll be glad to, mate. All right. If you want to know more about Jima Borjigian, there's some references to her, for example, on YouTube. Let's have a look. She's from China originally. Here we are. She's from China, and she studied in Chinese in China as well. But she's actually a she lives in the US now. She works there now. There's loads of stuff here. Accidental science uncovers ongoing brain activity. Of course, if I click on this, I'll get a bloody copyright strike, won't I? Oh, I'd love to show you these things, but I'll immediately get a copyright strike. Unlocking the mysteries of the near-death experience. Researchers say there's evidence that consciousness continues after clinical death. Well, within the brain, according to her, yeah. What happens when we die? Oh, there's loads of stuff here, but there's a lecture by here. Oh, this is an old one here on Skeptico, interviewed by Alex Tsakiris on Skeptico. He interviews her there, but that's 10 years ago. And it turns out she did actually do work with Rick Strassman. And in fact, Anthony mentions this in the book. He actually mentions the work that she did with Rick Strassman. Oh, this is the lecture here. Oh, maybe I can just show literally a still from this. Surely they're not going to bloody do me for a bloody still, are they? This is Dr. Borjigian here. Surely they won't do me for a damn still. That's her. And this is this 1 hour, 15-minute lecture, Near-Death Experience, the Biological Paradox. Okay, so you can check that out. But she did work on DMT and things like that. Could the daemon be an alien? Well, technically, it must be, because it's not human, is it? Jeff Finley says, I love the Heisenberg, not verbatim. The first sip of the natural sciences turns one into an atheist, but God is there waiting for you at the bottom of the glass. Yeah, I've heard that quote. Yeah, I really have heard that quote before. Yeah. Oh, Tiffany says, good book on a related topic. Journey of Souls. Yes, Robert Newton, based on thousands of clinical hypnotic regressions, case studies of life between lives, published a few decades ago, but still fascinating. I got a copy of it on my shelf. But it is, yes, Lopes Fire, it absolutely is. There's two, actually, wasn't there? This is really interesting. There's Destiny, here we go. But they are really good. Journey of Souls. Whoops. What's happening now? Bugger off. Let's go to images. We'll just look at the covers. Journey of Souls there by Michael Newton and Destiny of Souls. I've read them both. He wrote the sequel as a popular request. Really interesting. It's hypnotic regression stuff. Oh, what's this? Adventure of Souls. Is there another one? Yeah, it's really good. If you remember that film, Collateral Beauty, I reviewed that film, Collateral Beauty, with Will Smith, about a man who's suffering prolonged grief after his young daughter dies. And he's got this pile of books, and he's sitting there and like looking really upset. And there's this pile of books. One of them is Journey of Souls. Right. Do you know what? I can't think of anything else. So, does anyone have any final comments to make or questions to ask? Hope, preferably on topic. If not, I'll call it a night. But I want to say a big thank you to you all. I don't think we can do AI tonight, Arts Channel. That's just too much. Hugo, thank you for your kind words, Ben. I enjoyed this live stream immensely. You're welcome, Hugo. You really are. Trump. Oh dear. Nah, if we go off topic, I'll just carry on forever and ever and ever. But it's been a good live stream. So I want to thank See How We're Living, DJ B2, Hugo Rune, Arts Channel, Bill O'Connell, #repent, Lotus Fire, that's Tiffany, Hatchy, Jeff Hindley, Tina Silver, Johnny Fettler, Green Tea, Mab, David Splendid Isolation, Walt, who else is here? The Death Beats, Gary, Jack and Off, Red Snapper, that's everyone, I think. I think that's everybody. But take care. Night. See you, we're living. Take care. All the best. Bye, Jeff Henley. All the best. Night. See how we're living. You're welcome, Bill. Take care. Have a good night, Walt. See you, Green Tea. See you, Gary. Take care. He's going to be on the Hapanmo show tomorrow night, by the way. If you want to listen to that, the Hapanmo show on Hapanmo Radio, Gary's going to be on it. You're welcome, Green Tea. You're welcome. It's been a good life. It's been fun, hasn't it? We've been through a lot, and I think we've put the whole. We've been through. I think we've done as deep a dive as we can into Anthony Peake's new book, The Near-Death Experiences, the science, psychology, and anthropology behind the phenomenon. I don't think we can really add anything more to this. What's the next video going to be? I'll probably have to do another comments reply, I think. But as far as watch and read parties go, I was thinking of doing. I'll let you know, but I've got some ideas for future read parties, actually, and watch parties. I mentioned a few of them to you, and we'll see how it goes. Anyway, Johnny Fettler, night. Thanks, Johnny Fettler. But in the meantime, it's been a good, interesting video we've done here. A good live stream. I'm sure there'll be more to say. Obviously, you still can ask questions and put comments in the comments section, and I'll address them on the next reply to comments video. Night, DJ B2, and night, everyone else. In the meantime, Hospital Porters, Pride and Dignity, stop the New World Order. Thank you for watching Hapanmo TV.